A little after 3 o'clock Eastern time, you can see the Yankees and Tigers right here live on MLB Network. Yankees, an exciting club, obviously. Got a whole workup on Aaron Judge tomorrow, Case. I know you're on the show.
Can't wait.
So Judge is doing historic things.
Best player in the universe.
No question. That's a Yankees and best hitter. Anyway, Yankees and...
Oh, yeah, you're right.
All right. Yankees and Tigers. And I'm saying he's underrated, is what I'm saying. Sean Casey is here. I want to get right into it because Sean Casey was the hitting coach for the Yankees last year. He worked a lot with Aaron Judge, Anthony Volpe, and more. And we have finally the torpedo bats out here in our hands. And I don't walk around like you do, like swinging a bat all the time, Case. I can absolutely feel the difference with the torpedo bat. I can feel the balance of this bat. It's different.
Well, you know, listen, you can see, obviously, at the end of the bat, this is a torpedo bat, too. This is an AP5, which is a Pujols model. At the end of the bat, what they've done here, it's really nothing new, to tell you the truth. But the great analytics of, listen, teams want to win on the margins now. Okay, at the end of the day, what fine things could they do? And what they found was Volpe was kind of the prototype, I think, when they said, okay, most of the balls that he hits a lot of balls down towards the label. So what we used to have barrels that were a little bigger. Now what they're doing is they're taking that weight they're taking some of that wood off at the end of the bat here and moving the sweet spot down a little bit, right? Which is totally things that they've always done. I want to show you really quick.
Good.
If you go look at some other bats, so this is an AP5. This is Albert Pujols 5. This is his model. I used to swing this model at the end of my career. So if you look at this model, if you're a hitter, you're like, okay. The handle's a little thinner. It gets gradually to a bigger barrel, right? And this barrel, if you can look at this barrel, how different this is. This barrel is a gradual barrel all the way down. This is pretty much a normal one. And the torpedo one is just a little thinner at the top. This is something that when you look back a few years ago, Marucci started doing this. Marucci and Victus. Victus is the bat where they started with the torpedo bats. In Baton Rouge, at the Marucci lab they have there, what they started to do was they started to do it like golf. Hey, come on in. We're gonna take a look how your body works, how your bat speed looks, what weight you should have on the bat, like they would do with a pro golfer, right? They would bring them in and do all that. And that's where a couple years ago, do you remember Paul Goldschmidt when he won the MVP in 2022? What did he have? They put a little hockey puck wood down there that weighted his bat differently, and they said, hey, Paul, if we weight your bat more at the end here, you're going to have better bat speed. And you can see right there, you can see that puck right there at the bottom of his bat. That's not part of his bat. They put that on there because what it showed was, what the Victus and Marucci lab showed was, hey, you're better if you have more weight on the bottom part of this handle. So that's what this is. All this is guys have always... Go back to, Louisville Slugger bats. When I first came into pro ball, 271 was a thinner handle, thinner barrel, but lighter bat. C243 was a little bit of a thicker handle with a big barrel bat, right? T141s. This is nothing new, BK.
Well, it's different. I can feel the bat, like, what Cody Bellinger is talking about, the balance. I can feel, again, I don't swing a bat every day. But I can feel that the weight is closer to my hands here as opposed to at the end, like Pujols used to swing a sledgehammer. This is not a sledgehammer. No, there's more weight. I can feel that weight here. Yes,
you can feel more weight, and obviously there's more barrel going down. Now, here's one thing that's interesting, I think, as a hitter. A lot of hitters, when they're Barry Bonds, when he used to hit, and a lot of guys hit, they sometimes would choke up a little bit, right? A little choked up a little bit. Why do you choke up? Because you want this barrel to feel like you could put it anywhere you want, like almost like you were playing pepper. Now, when I grab this torpedo bat and I'm holding it down on the knob down here, I almost feel like I'm choked up a little bit because the weight is right here.
To you,
it's close to me, so it almost feels like, okay, I could put this barrel on the ball a lot easier than sometimes when you're trying to hit it at the normal sweet spot.
You did a lot of work with Anthony Volpe. I want to look at some Volpe tape. I want to look at some of his biomechanics. So what was your point of emphasis last year when you got a lot out of Anthony Volpe?
Yeah, 2 years ago. One thing about Volpe is I think he's best when he's going to right center, and he shows right here that short porch in right field for New York when he's hitting well. That's a great place for him getting the ball up. But one thing with Volpe, what they found is that when they're pounding him inside, he can still take that ball in and drive it to right center. But you can see right here, sometimes with Volpe, it's not just the sweet spot that he hits it on, it's more down towards the label. So why not make a bat that plays right to, like I said, like almost like a golfer? You're making a bat tailor-made to the analytics of Volpe's swing. Talk about analytics coming into play.
Right.
We can now break down pitch by pitch by pitch at bat where his barrel comes into the zone. So if on a certain amount of pitches he's hitting a lot of balls not off the end but off the label, let's play the percentages, move the sweet spot down a little bit, make it a little bigger.
Can I ask you a specific question?
Yeah.
What's the difference? Is there a huge difference between teams that were like, hey, because we saw Ellie De La Cruz grabbed a torpedo bat, ends up hitting 2 home runs. He's Ellie De La Cruz.
Right.
What's the difference between a guy grabbing a torpedo bat and a guy having a torpedo bat engineered specifically for him? How big of a difference?
I think it's definitely different. I would rather have it engineered for my swing.
That's what the Yankees are doing.
And what I'm doing, no doubt about it. And also, too, listen, at the end of the day, it's, what do they say? It's the magician, not the wand. You still have to be a good player. You still have to get a good pitch to hit.
But we're getting things on the margin. It's getting a little bit better.
There's no doubt about it. And one other thing, you talk about the way the pitch shaping of these guys nowadays. They're going to pitch labs where they're like, okay, I'm going to throw you a cutter in on your hands. If you're lefty, I'm going to throw you. If I'm a lefty sinker ball, in on your hands. So a lot of times as a hitter, if you keep busting me in and trying to work those cutters and sinkers in, and I have more play on the label down here, man, I'm going to be a better hitter.
Yeah, look, it's intelligence and counterintelligence. People were asking me like, hey, what are they going to do about these torpedo bats? I'm like, we're going to enjoy it, is what we're going to do.
Are you kidding me?
It's fantastic. And maybe I look at more like Volpe or like, you know, the way Paul Molitor used to hit, where he would just punch right to the, I would think that's going to help that type of hitter more. And don't you want that in baseball?
I think so. I think more guys get jammed on the label than they do hitting it off the end of the bat. So guys are going to have, if you have more forgiveness down here towards the label, you're going to have better offense.
You showed very, high level of restraint, not actually doing a full swing. Every time you see him take a swing, I'm going to step it back and go, no, I don't want to get anywhere near this guy.